just a few hours from opening. We're going to go from the New Beginnings main offices in Hutchinson, Kansas, and zip on over here to the ribbon cutting ceremony open house for the Substance Abuse Center of Kansas Inpatient Treatment Center and Detox. Everybody's hard at work, getting things ready. We had an opportunity to go through the building several times, looking at the progress. We had shots before the sign got in, some of the rooms. And really, this has been such a magical property over the years, and there'll be more explained on this later. Right. This is definitely a transformation, transforming from one form of help into another, and now finally into a inpatient treatment center for men and women. We've been through trials and tribulations with this building. Storms have taken the roof off and ruined half of the building. The basement flooded for years. There were so many upgrades that needed to happen and take place in order for this transformation to come full circle. As you can see, the rooms are designed, they're nice. TJP did an excellent job putting these rooms together. All of these, it's a state-of-the-art design to help prevent bed bugs. You can see it's metal beds, metal lockers, no carpet. Each room has its own unit, its own sink, its own bathroom. And these are some of the before and afters. State-of-the-art laundry, brand new laundry, commercial laundry facility. It's been one of the hardest things to do was to close that room off from the kitchen, because it used to be attached to the kitchen right there behind where you can see that front load washer, commercial washer. But we'll have workers in there working on laundry every day for the treatment facility and the overnight shelter. This will be one of the conference rooms, the rooms that they'll use. All of those tables were donated to New Beginnings. New Beginnings donated them to S.A.C.K. They'll be doing classes in there and all types of great stuff. And this is all still a work in progress when these photos were taken.
My name is William Baggett, Central Kitchen Supervisor. All right. So you got a little helper over here, right? Yep, that's my assistant, Misty Doyle. Misty,
Hi.
you gonna say hi?
Hello.
What you working on here?
I'm setting up the meat and cheese trays right now.
Okay. And you are still TJP?
No.
Or you're permanent employee for New
Yes.
Beginnings now?
You switched over to my assistant manager in the central kitchen for
That's
New
what's
Beginnings now.
up. All right, so show me around a little bit. Tell me a little bit about the kitchen.
All right.
I'm going to continue working while you do that.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna get more of you later.
We have our dry storage over here.
Okay.
All right. We got our triple door freezer, 2-door refrigerator. We got a steamer on order that would go right in here. We got our grill, stovetop, double convection ovens.
So you're gonna be baking up some goodies or what?
Oh, we're gonna be making our own bread, cinnamon rolls, all of it.
Cinnamon rolls.
Cinnamon rolls. Gotta have cinnamon rolls. Prep top refrigerator.
Got your slicer.
Brand new slicer. We got all of our pots, pans, utensils over there. We got our brand new mixer with our proofer. This table, that'll be our bread station, our cinnamon roll station.
Nice.
Hand
man.
washing sink over there. Dish washing area.
And how many TJP employees are you going to be having work?
Right now it stands at 2.
Two. You're going to expand to 4
We're gonna try to, yes.
eventually.
Yeah, right now we're opening this and gonna focus on getting this established. But the term central kitchen, we're gonna try to grow into doing other things with the community,
Sure.
so we can keep growing. You know, that's what it's about.
So tell me, when this facility opens up, the Detox and Treatment Center, what is going to be your primary relationship with them?
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We will be making sure all the food is provided for all the clients.
And that will be 7 days a week?
7 days a week. We'll be here 12 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Okay.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
And what kind of tools have you, like you got a software set up?
Yes, we got a software set up. It's all dietitian certified. It does inventory control. It can automatically order for us. So, I mean, that's great. We can, if somebody's gluten-free, we just go in and type it and it automatically pulls all of
Bam.
Yeah, it's over 8,000 recipes in there that we have at our disposal. So,
That's good.
you know, it'll be great for that. Let's see. This is a little bit different from the other TJP program
Sure.
because we are 7 days a week. So our schedule's set up a little different than theirs. You know, they work Monday through Friday. We're here. We're going to work 3.5 days on a week, 3.5 days off a week. For the simple reason that, you know, TJP, we still help with barriers.
Right.
So I had to figure out a way that I could still allow it to where people could get help with their barriers and had the daytime off to be able to go
Sure.
do their appointments.
Absolutely.
So that's why it's set up on 3.5 days on, 3.5 days off. You know, that way everybody can get all the help they need.
Nice. So what else are you waiting to get in here? You got your ice maker here. Here's all of your dishes.
Yep.
I seen a little bit of silverware over there.
We still got a little bit of silverware to get in. We got that steamer we're waiting to come in. And then all it is order food when everything's ready.
When everything's ready
Yep.
to go.
We got our cleaning little closet right there with a mop station.
It's crazy how this used to be connected to the laundry room in there.
Isn't it? We got our other refrigerator. This will be our office.
Nice.
My personal goal is within 3 months we'd be set up here, and then we will also be doing all the food for Noel Lodge. You know, we will be preparing it and getting it to them so they can help them eat.
Absolutely.
You know, and we're gonna try to find other avenues in the community to expand out the kitchen with too.
Good. Are you now?
I am.
And where did you start out at?
An addiction.
Well, we all come from that place around here, so I get that. But I'm saying, were you a part of TJP at all?
Nope.
Did you go to Oxford House?
I was in Oxford
Okay.
from November until March
Where do you live at now?
with my brother.
Nice.
Rebuilding the family ties.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Good, good. Well, glad to have you on board, and
Thank you.
and this is a big deal for all y'all, right?
It's huge.
We all know you as our stop and talk shop lady,
Yeah.
because as on the TJP cruise, we would come through the drive-thru with the smoke shop,
Yep,
you know,
get a
throw some
drink,
ice at each
cigarette.
other.
Oh, I did
Oh,
that.
you did do that.
To
You
you.
forget about
I
that?
did. I'm sure
Just
payback's
wait,
coming.
today.
Oh.
You see that? That's a huge ice making
Listen,
machine.
right now it would feel really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Would
know,
not even
man.
fight it.
I don't know. Well, so you're going to be a peer mentor as well.
No, I am a detox tech.
Detox tech. Are you going to try to be a peer mentor?
Yes.
Okay.
Awesome. So have you looked into the classes? Have you started like
Not
April or
yet.
anything? Have you talked to Chad or Harold about it?
I talked to Chad in my interview about it.
Well, if that's what she wants.
So that's a goal, because I know that they
Yeah.
want to see you reach goals like that. And you have you.
I'd like to just move up and move up and move up.
Well, I think you can move up and move up, but I don't know if you can move up and move up and then move up.
Well,
Because then you'd have Harold's job.
I don't want to go
He's
that
gonna have to
far.
retire eventually.
The man
Oh,
celebrated
I'm
40
true.
years last week, y'all. You guys
That's
work for an
insane.
incredible dude, man.
Yeah, he is
Yeah.
Harold is such a good guy.
Harold, KC, CEO of the Some Dispute Center, Kansas.
And this whole get up here and all of these wonderful people that are walking around hustling ready for the ribbon cutting ceremony today and the open house, this has all been something in the making for a long time,
10
right?
years.
10 years in the making.
At least.
And have you had your mindset on something like this for that long, or has it been a goal of yours from the beginning?
It's been a community, effort. We recognized 10, 12 years ago that there were no detox services here in Hutchinson, that there was a long waiting list for people needing residential treatment services. We began to plan with the New Beginnings Board and the city and the county and
are you
retired Sheriff Henderson and
Absolutely.
all the different people that have been involved in trying to put this together.
But I'm not trying to overshadow any of that. That's all super important. It was great work on everybody's behalf to make this happen, and it took everybody for it to happen. But as a personal goal for S.A.C.K, has this been something that you thought you would ever get into? Was an inpatient?
No. For years and years, we've been an assessment, outpatient program, referral, care coordination, but the services were so needed, and the provider network was overwhelmed with the number of clients that they were receiving, that the waiting list got longer and longer, and it was just a necessary thing to do to try and help as many people. We really picked, selected this area because of the community support, and because Hutchinson's having at least one overdose a day.
Yeah.
And that has been going on for a long time. So it's a good location. New Beginnings has made it very accessible to come in and provide this service.
Well, speaking of another one of
we were just talking
the good citizens of this community, this is Sheriff Randy Henderson. So you're retired now, right, Sheriff?
Yes, sir.
And since you've retired, have you been able to focus a little more on the efforts to bring about the treatment center coming to town?
It's never stopped. I mean, it's always continuous in our minds, and following up from your mom, what she's doing and her dream. It's what we're all working for.
Yeah, this is amazing. I've had goosebumps several times a day just thinking about the efforts that it's taken to get us where we're at, and
I'm Chad Harmon. I am the director of the new residential and detox facility here. I'm sorry.
no, you're good. You can look at the camera and you can look at me.
Okay, I'm the new director, or I'll be the director of the facility as soon as we open.
Okay.
So.
And are you? You've been with S.A.C.K for how long?
I've been with S.A.C.K for 12 years, and 2 years prior to that, I was actually an intern. So I started from the bottom and kind of worked our way up. So
14 years.
14 years I've been involved with S.A.C.K. So.
And you went to school in Oklahoma?
Nebraska.
Nebraska.
I got my bachelor's degree at Concordia University in Nebraska, and I got my master's degree at Wichita State.
Where are you originally from?
I'm from Wichita.
So you brought it back home then?
Yep. You know, I got up to Nebraska for a couple of years, and I'm like, Wichita ain't so bad.
Right.
I went to Nebraska thinking I'm never coming back. So. And then about 2 weeks up there, I'm like, Kansas ain't so bad.
So when you first were introduced to the community here in Hutchinson, what was your initial thoughts? Like,
you know, as somebody who didn't come from a huge background to this, this is a community that needs help.
Yeah.
And I definitely want to be around to be able to help. So.
So I know that you, with the work that you do and the positions you've been in, and the position that you're taking on here, you're obviously up to speed with the overdoses and the opioid epidemic, the meth epidemic,
right.
And our ever favorite alcohol that is never really compared to them very much, but devastates just as badly.
Right.
So, have you had a chance to see that in person here yet? I mean, I know the facility's not open yet, but have you seen?
Oh yeah. So interestingly, my first job at S.A.C.K was actually the assessment counselor for Reno County.
Ah.
So from the day one, I was driving up to Hutch every day.
Okay.
So and as soon as I got up here, I really kind of fell in love with the way the community was. Growing up in Wichita, you know, it's a big city, but Hutchinson's got the small town feel.
So were you doing that out of Suite B over
No, we were in
Were you doing
Suite A.
that? You were in Suite
So
A?
where first call for help used to be in
Yep.
Suite A, I was in that same little area.
Okay,
And then
right in that front before it got all remodeled?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Where they had to come in and they buzzed you in.
I had a
and-
key, so I'd go in and I'd do my assessments. I'd be at the old Reno County Jail when it was attached to the
Yeah,
courthouse.
yeah.
So I'm real
The
familiar
dungeon.
with and the annex.
Yeah,
So
the annex.
yeah. So
So you've seen a lot of the transformation here
Right.
in Reno County. You've seen a
Yeah.
lot of and the amazing relationship between S.A.C.K and New Beginnings, because that's the first property. I mean, initially they had their first one right here
Yep.
in that very back room where I
Yep.
think is going to be the nurses
Yep,
station.
that'll be the nurses station. So.
So, give us a little run through of the facility, how many it's going to be able to hold, what your goals are
Yeah.
coming in,
Okay.
and
Yeah, so we're going to license this facility for 40 people. Initially, we're going to start off with 36 beds, and at least 6 beds at all times are going to be dedicated for social detox.
Okay.
That's a big need in the community,
Absolutely.
obviously. Jail's not the best place for somebody picked up drunk off the street or high off the street. And with that, we're hoping we can just transition them directly right into treatment. If they're male, they can stay here. If they want to go somewhere else, we'll help them get somewhere else.
Okay.
With the female, we can get them pretty much anywhere in the state within a couple of days, get them there. That's really the first big thing we want to do. And then while we're here, we want to connect them with New Beginnings, and we want to bank on our New Beginnings relationship so that they're seeing clients or former clients that are working in the transitional job program.
Absolutely.
It's kind of hard when we're like, where are you going to go when you get out? And they're like, I don't have any money, I don't have a job,
Don't know
I
where to
got
do- what
10
to do."
felonies, I don't have anything to do. And we can just be like, hey, come talk to these people at TJP, and we can get them working right off
And
the bat.
Oxford House will
Right.
play a role.
Yep. So you have money to pay your Oxford House rent. Oxford's not going to be a fit for everybody. So you know what? Let's hook you up with transitional housing, get you set up with that right off the bat.
Absolutely.
So.
few of us have some things to say, and then we're going to cut the ribbon, and then I think that S.A.C will tell you what else is going on.
I'm going to start out with some history. Back in 1998, I came out of the narcotics unit after spending 9 years there, and I was pretty dejected because we had a lot of good people addicted to drugs, wanted to get off, and no way to get out of it. That's when I first met Shar Gonzalez. Little did I know at that time, she'd been working on it for at least 2 years before that. Fast forward to 2002, when I was elected sheriff and found out that I was now responsible for all the inmates in Reno County facility. And thought, well, I didn't like it because we were seeing so much recidivism. So how do we get around that? You got a captive audience, see if we can start programs. Didn't have the money or the actual facility to do that. Thankfully, the voters of Reno County gave us that facility in 2014. A grant allowed us to hire Michael Hill Jr. and him, along with Captain Sean McClay, have made that project work in the Reno County Jail. But we still were missing a piece, and that was what this facility provides. Because of Jade coming along in 2015, reactivating everybody, getting us excited again, we are now to this point where Harold Casey and Shar are working together. We also work with the Oxford House. Matt got a very good relationship with them. They now have the transitional job training, thanks Lacey, and things are starting to look up. But everything goes to this lady right here.
Hey, I'm going to say a few words, and I'm going to try to make it brief because there's a strong possibility I might ugly cry, so judgment-free zone. Thank you, Shara, for letting me say a few words. I think it's important to say that, or to acknowledge that every person in this community has value, and this facility is our community's recognition that people with substance misuse disorders, people who are struggling with substance misuse, are worth investing in. They are not to be written off. They have unique talents and contributions that will add to the richness of our community if we just give them a chance, give them some help in reaching their potential. So when I started the Drug Impact Task Force over 6 years ago, it was with the understanding that the status quo was not working for our community. We had huge local service gaps that led to us throwing millions of dollars at the criminal justice system for what was largely a public health problem. You know, we had employers who couldn't find employees to pass a drug screen, not to mention the huge human costs to families. You know, many of us in here have lost people to these challenges. And our community stood up and it said no more. You know, no more. And, you know, as Randy alluded to, Shara knew about these gaps a long time ago. And the biggest, most loftiest goal of that Drug Impact Task Force was a detox and treatment facility. But everybody said it couldn't be done. The business case doesn't pencil out. But with Shara's passion and persistence, she kept the project at the front of everyone's mind. She said that, I mean, she helped us understand that because it was necessary, it can't be impossible. Like, that's not an option. We got to figure it out, right? And so, you know, this facility is the work of a lot of people and a lot of conversations and a lot of investment. $50,000 from the city was put in, $50,000 from the county, but that's just such a small piece, you know? This is the community success, and I'll let Shara do the thanking because there's so many people to thank, but I did just want to say a few special thank yous to people who joined this effort when I tried to rekindle it, and that was, Lynette Lacey, she stepped up and gave her expertise at no cost and has kept working for 6 years straight through the ups and downs of the task force. I wanted to thank Harold Casey. We've been having these conversations for well over a decade since I was on the New Beginnings board. And I wanted to thank the health department for stepping up and taking what was a loose group of volunteers and creating structure and legitimacy and programming, largely through the work of Seth Dewey. So I'm just so proud of our community for recognizing this needed to be done. We have all shared the losses, but this facility is emblematic of all the success we're going to share, all the success that comes out of it. So thank you.
As the developer of this project, it couldn't be done without funds. And what's unique about this project is this is truly a community effort. I was just saying, there is no federal dollars or state dollars into this project. This came from Hutchinson as a community and the recovery community that includes Wichita and S.A.C.K and our recovery community here. So quite an effort, and these are the folks that helped fund this project. The City of Hutchinson and the City Council members, Reno County and the County Commissioners, the Board of Directors of Substance Abuse Center of Kansas, the Walter and Velma Justice Foundation, James and Julia Davis Foundation, the Beach Edwards Foundation, Mr. Mert Sellers, Robert and Christina Peel, Steve Dillon, Brad Dillon, Oxford House Chapter 13, Kevin George, Addicts Against Overdose, and New Beginnings Board of Directors. Speechless almost, but I. But what I do want to say is just a little bit of the passing of the torch, so to speak. This building, we were asked to come at when we had just a simple shelter. This was the executive inn. We were asked to come take some of our folks and they would pay them to help clean this up. They were getting ready to make it back into a motel. And the people came back and said, I'm not going back. There's needles falling out of the ceiling, there's needles everywhere, there's drugs everywhere. And this is just across the street from our Chamber of Commerce. That was what was going on at the time. And so some years later, we inherited this building and it became Walnut Court Apartments on the north side and transitional housing here on the south side. And from that moment, which was in 2005, we have partnered with S.A.C.K because we realized that as having started to be a homeless organization, that addiction had played a huge part in that. And we needed their services, and we've partnered ever since. We have that plus that. We have a building at 400, the Scott Center, 400 West 2nd, which is also the recovery center we've partnered with. And so here, in a sense, I'm just passing the torch to the Substance Abuse Center of Kansas and Harold Casey. Thank you, Harold, for all the years.
Thank you very much. I can't thank you all enough. I can have a good idea, Shara can have a good idea, and I think the first time we began talking about this was at least 12 years ago, maybe longer. It's just an idea. And out of a lot of things that have happened in my life and in all our lives that are successful, I didn't want to do this. I didn't think about doing this. I was just trying to help get it done. I really want to thank the New Beginnings Board. They've been very supportive. The S.A.C.K Board has been very supportive. These are risks. They're going to be a successful risk, but it's still a risk. You know, in this field, it's not where you get rich and it's not about the money. Anyway, not from my board of directors. We started providing services here in '95 at no cost and no reimbursement because we were getting so many referrals. And over time, a little bit at a time, we've been able to provide more services and continue that endeavor. But even 4 years ago, I wouldn't have thought we would be here today. I thought we would be someday, but probably not this quickly. These things take a lot of time, but it's going to be worth it. We believe it'll be a cost savings. We think a lot of that cost savings will be for the local hospital, the emergency department, EMS, the police and the sheriff's departments. One of the things we've seen with the Detox in Wichita is officers can bring people in and drop them off in about 5 to 10 minutes. And that's so much better than having to take them to the hospital and for the officer to have to wait 5 or 6 hours for them to be able to leave. And so there's a lot of savings about this. And I know this isn't about me, but I do think it's important to talk about. 40 years ago, I went to a state-funded treatment center. I didn't want to go. I was pressured to go like everybody is. But it worked for me. And the state of Kansas paid for that treatment. Today, I pay my taxes, I have a job, I believe I'm an important role in the communities that I work in. But more important than that, I have 100 staff that work. Many of them are in recovery, and they pay their taxes, and they're an important part of the community. And all of us at some point had been given up on. All of us at some point, people thought, I've had enough, I'm tired of you, you need to move on. And that's the people we're going to be working with here. It'll be mostly an indigent population of men, because that's where the longest waiting list is right now for treatment services. We'll also be providing detox for women and men both, and getting women to other community services for special women's programs. So anyway, this isn't about any one of us. It's about all of us and putting our ideas and our commitments into one project that will then build a lot more over time. So thank you all very much for your support. Wouldn't be here without you. Wouldn't want to be here without you. And I and my board of directors are very thankful to everybody in the Hutchinson and Reno County community for helping us. Thank you.
I would be remiss in not mentioning the folks who spent hours, actually putting this building together. There are people in recovery in a program we operate called the Transitional Jobs Program that helps people move from no employment into recovery into full-time permanent employment. So I want to thank them all for all the hard work they've done in this building.